The next speaker is item 6.34 on our agenda, Becky Katz, respecting the 2023 Hamilton Police Services budget. This is an in-person delegation, and I apologize, Becky, for mispronouncing your last name.
That's okay. It's my middle name, and my dad claims he made it up, so it's fair.
You have 5 minutes.
It's Shaney.
Thank you. You have 5 minutes, Becky.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and members of the General Issues Committee, my name is Becky Katz, and I'm a longtime resident of Ward 2. As your constituent, I'm here to express my utter disgust and mistrust concerning the proposed increase to the already absurdly bloated police service budget. Investing millions more into a policing budget that has already had an unused surplus from the previous year is essentially laughing in the face of all the other sectors that are in dire need of this funding. An HPS budget increase will directly result in even greater harm to the most vulnerable members of our community. Some of us realize that the policing system does not protect all citizens equally. After having a difficult discussion with my students last week, I found out that more than half of them claimed they would not call the police in an emergency. How disturbing is that? That youth feel threatened by a system that is supposedly in place to protect them. Not only does increasing the police budget fail to address the inaccessibility of housing, it brings violence against the most vulnerable members of our communities. Police play an active role in dismantling encampments. They ticket people living on the street for simply existing in public. And when community members require mental health support rather than de-escalating distress, the police escalate it, ultimately causing more harm and sometimes even death, killing those they claim to protect. For decades, the Hamilton Police Service budget has been rising. Meanwhile, housing costs are surging, food is less affordable, and people struggle to access basic medical and social support. Public safety means ensuring that all community members have access to the basic necessities, including food, shelter, healthcare, and community. Investing in police does not provide for any of these essentials. Investing in police does not prevent crime. Police arrive after the fact. They coerce, manipulate, and brutalize poor, disabled, Black, Indigenous, racialized, queer, and trans people. Though it is no secret that the police have a very close-knit relationship to the city of Hamilton. Perhaps this is why Hamilton police make more than any other cop in Ontario, second only to cops in Richmond Hill, meaning that Hamilton police make more than cops in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Ottawa, Windsor, London, Thunder Bay, Sudbury, and Niagara Falls. Chief Bergen says that the increased request is modest, that it is merely for maintenance, sunshine list maintenance. Bergen says that for every 1% decrease in their budget, they would have to cut 19 full-time officers. We say, go ahead, cut them. And I might suggest by starting with the 50-plus officers whose names I'm not allowed to read out loud in fear of defamation suit or whatever the reason was that I missed because I wasn't here yet. But since 2017, the SIU has received 15 allegations of sexual assault against Hamilton police officers. Between 2021 and 2022, there were 28 injuries while in HPS custody that were reported to the SIU. Injuries included a fractured clavicle, fractured ribs, and a fractured and dislocated hip, a broken cheekbone, and a broken nose, which happened during a police-enforced eviction. These are just a fraction of Hamilton officers who've been caught either murdering, assaulting, raping, harassing, or otherwise partaking in downright violent behavior over the past several years. We say no more. The following are some words from the Equity Network. We are tired of City Council failing to protect the most vulnerabilized. The fact that a community needs to rally to demand care of its people is astounding to us. What services council pays for shows exactly how much they value the health and wellness of our community. We at Equity Network challenge this new city council to put the humanity of community members first. We are tired of seeing marginalized community members, including Black and Indigenous youth, diminish because people are afraid to tell police services no. Start telling our community, yes, we care. Yes, we will act to care for you. And yes, your lives matter. So please, vote against the proposed 6.71% increase to the Hamilton Police Service budget and advocate for the investment of this money into other needed community services. And I was going to read a poem, but I guess I'm out of time, but just wanted to say justice for Yosef Al-Haznawi, justice for Chevrana Abdi, justice for Quinn McDougall. May I read the poem?
I'm afraid you don't have time for that. If you can provide it to the clerk, we can make sure that it's circulated and provided to the city through our website.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky Shaney Katz. I got it right. Thank you very much for your thoughtful presentation.